What's going on, you guys? I don't know if I'm live yet, but it says I'm live. So what's going on? To anybody who does join in to this live, thank you for joining in. I kind of wanted to do something late at night. That way people would not know what I was doing. And and no one would watch. Like the chances of somebody watching would be kind of low. I wanted to talk about this whole Demi Lovato situation just for the mere fact that I am not going to be able to have it up in time for my podcast when I usually upload it, which sucks. Reason being is because I use Anchor to upload my podcast. And lately, Anchor has been taking forever to release my episodes. So I had one podcast take like 5 or 6 days to finally get onto Spotify, which like really annoyed me. So I don't know. I don't know like what to do with that. Like I want to record a podcast tonight, but then I was just like, no, if I record the podcast tonight and I put this in my podcast, people aren't going to be hearing it till like daggone near Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, it's already timed out. It doesn't make any sense anymore. No one's going to want to watch it or listen to it. So I decided, let me just go on here real quick. Let me go on YouTube really quick and just make a little rant about this one part situation that I'm pretty sure I could talk about forever and ever and ever and ever and ever because it annoyed the living hell out of me. But first things first, hello. If you don't know me, my name is Chase or C Hayes. Doesn't matter how you say it, as long as that flavor stays in your house, in your mouth, not in your house, but I mean, as long as I'm staying in your house too. Birth name is Candace. If you notice my face, you probably see me on TikTok, where you can follow me at Chase Inc. CHAYESINC. You can also follow me on Instagram at Candy Taste Sweet. You can follow the Vault with Chase's Instagram page, which is the Vault with Chase. And I also have a YouTube channel right here called Swipes and Giggles. So where we talk about the 411 online dating and a little bit more. I also have another podcast I'm a part of with Trey Proper and Royal, and it is called the Kinkazoid Podcast. We are live on YouTube and on Facebook every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. So if you ever want to listen to that and join that one, we are live every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. And on the daytime on Sunday, I am on Spark FM on sparkfmonline.com on the tap in with DJ Slick Vic and myself. And we do that every Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. So your girl be busy all the time. But not enough time goes by for my aggravation levels get a little higher. I need to talk about something. So let's get straight into it. I already put out all the things that you can follow me on and all that. So if you're not following me, don't follow me. If you are cool. Shout out to the person who is watching. Thank you so much. Whoever you are, you could say hi in the chat so I can know who you are. But yeah, thanks. Anyways, so let's get into this thing. Now, I just made a video last night about Demi Lovato and how she reacted with this whole frozen yogurt thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about with Demi Lovato, let me just give you a little bit of background. So Demi Lovato was in LA and she went on April 17th and she went to a frozen yogurt shop called The Big Chill. And when she entered the shop, she saw sugar-free and kind of like diet food options on the entrance of the shop. So you know how if you're going into a shop, they usually do have some sort of things that, like, for people who might not be getting like the regular food items at that shop, they might have it closer to the front so they know where to go get it specifically. Now they had the sugar-free options and diet foods before you even got to the counter. And that was her problem. She was like finding it extremely hard to order froyo from the Big Chill official when you have to walk past tons of sugar-free cookies / other diet foods before you get to the counter. And this is what she put on Twitter. Okay. She then continued to hashtag it diet culture vultures. Okay. And then everybody and their mama was trying to figure out what the heck she was so mad about. And she goes on and on to say, I think I'm going to make that a hashtag thing. I will be calling out harmful messaging from brands or companies that perpetuate a society that not only enables but praises disordered eating. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, but what does this have to do with Demi Lovato? Now, you guys know she just came out with this whole documentary, Dance with the Devil, right? And she basically talks about her drug abuse problems, her eating disorder problems, her body dysphoria, just basically every issue that girl has, she was talking about it in the documentary. Now, a lot of people don't like Demi Lovato just off the base of just not liking Demi Lovato whatsoever. Like, I never had an issue with Demi Lovato. I actually liked some of the songs that she has came out with, maybe like one or three. But this just put her in my most like aggravating celebrity list. Like, why do you feel like you are so entitled to have like a say in how a store is particularly run? Now, if the store, had I don't know, don't be a fatty, eat some sugar-free foods, or, don't I don't know. It had to be something extra for goodness sake, it's a frozen yogurt shop. A frozen yogurt shop. Okay. This is not a place where political injustice happens around you, okay? No one is body shaming you in a froyo shop. You know why? Because we're all fatties going in there to eat nothing but sugar filled dairy product. Okay? That is, like, everyone going in there knows you're going in there to be fat. Okay, there's not one person who goes, let me go into this froyo place to get a little slim. No one does that. Okay, even the people who need to be not eating sugar go in there and still eat the sugar stuff. But you need to have sugar-free options and dietary options for those people who need those dietary supplements. There are some people who, let's just not even take it to the extreme case of diabetes or like have type 2 diabetes. Let's just say there are people who are allergic to certain things. There are people who just cannot consume added sugar to certain things in their body. There's just like even the smallest amount of things. Even if you do want to just eat sugar stuff and you have no problem eating sugary things, who's to say you wouldn't want something sugar free? Let's just say you have like something going on with your teeth, right? You don't want to eat anything too sugary because you know something's going on with your teeth. But if you know there's something going on with your teeth, you wouldn't go into a frozen yogurt shop any which way, because the cold and the sweetness from the frozen yogurt would do something to your tooth. But if you wanted to go in there while your friends were in there, you were like, oh, here's an option for me. It's sugar free. I don't have to worry about the sugar hitting my, cavity or anything. Then yes, you have that option. But yes, there are other things that go into it. People's livelihoods, they can't consume sugar, diabetes, and all those things that go into that. So the mere fact that you got mad at a frozen yogurt shop for having these dietary supplements, or not supplements, these dietary, like, inclusions inside of their shop is ridiculous to me. If anything, I would be mad. I would understand if you said, yo, I am trying to be on a diet and I don't see any dietary, options here or any sugar-free things here. Do you have them? And they kept them in the back. Is that where you want them to be? Do you want them to be kept in the back? I think that's more embarrassing. At least if you have it out in the front and you walk by it and you see it, maybe some people might see it first, some people might not because they're not paying attention to it. But at least if a person says, hey, do you have any sugar-free options? They can say, oh, yes, they're right here up towards the front. The person can go get their business and that's it. When you have to ask a person, hey, do you have sugar-free options? And the person got to go in the back, they got to look for it and everything. It's not stocked how it is correctly because not a lot of people ask for it. That's the more embarrassing thing, because now you're holding up the line and everything. But you're mad about that. So the company did issue out an apology to Demi, and after she said, oh, this was just like a terrible experience. The whole experience was just triggering and awful, and it just triggered my whole entire like eating disorder and stuff. It's like, girl, you're literally milking this for no reason. And you're talking about how it's cruel and you're mocking, like, your eating disorder and everything. Like, that is, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people just forget the fact that they're celebrities and they're so consumed with who they are as a person that they don't think about the damage that they can do to certain companies for the things that they say and the things that they do. Um, and she also says, I understand that sometimes my messaging can lose its meaning when I get emotional. I am human. I'm sorry that I got the messaging wrong. I'm sorry that I may have disappointed some people. I walked into a situation that didn't sit right with me. My intuition said, speak up about this. So I did. That's after the fact. That's after the fact of you putting it out there to the world and saying that this shop disrespected you and triggered your eating disorder. And you're not going to act as if you don't have teenage boppers and even some grown folks who are freakishly standing for you. Okay, they are stands for you and will agree with anything that you say, like anything. Um I just I don't I'm just confused because it just makes me feel like, you know, and honestly, forget the article, whatever it says. Let's just talk about common sense here. There's nothing that a person's gonna write in an article. There's nothing TMZ is gonna say. There's nothing that her publicist or her managers or her stupid behind apology or her weak behind video that she made. None of that is ever going to replace the amount of common sense and time wasted that this girl put her energy into this establishment. You are a huge celebrity in some people's eyes, right? Not in mine, but in some people's eyes, you are a very big deal. You're a huge celebrity. And you can have the say and can influence a lot of different people. And the mere fact that you put out there that this company did something so irate, something so obscene to make you feel bad about your body, when you know there's a bunch of little girls, teenagers, even young women who look at you as some, type of role model, and they're like, your body positivity, you're the person who takes accountability of your body and everything like that, and they're, letting you and allowing you to have your mistakes over and over and over again and still love you through those mistakes. Every time you relapse, every time you have an upset, they always come back and love you even more. And so the fact that you put this energy out there and people were like, oh, what's going on, and then come to find out it wasn't even that big of a deal. I don't know, Demi. That just seems pretty dumb to me. It just seems pretty dumb to me. And I made a video about it on TikTok, and I put it in the same situation of, if you had a person who was able to walk up and down the stairs perfectly fine, very able-bodied, right? Without any type of disability or restraint or muscle dysfunction or anything like that. There was nothing hindering them from being able to just run up and down the stairs if they wanted to, right? And the person who can do that sees a ramp, and they get mad that the company has a ramp right where the stairs are, because that then insults the fact that they can walk up and down the stairs perfectly fine. You see how that doesn't sound right, right? That sounds like you're making fun of people who don't have the ability to go up and down the stairs, who have disabilities, or who just find it easier on their body just to walk the ramp. You're making fun of them. Therefore, in this case, Demi, you are making it seem like people don't eat sugar-free things. Like, it's just like something that doesn't happen, And just like we all know that sugar-free options came into play because of people's livelihoods and their health and everything like that. But you also know there are people out there who just purposely do not try to add sugar into their diet. There are people who literally are on a sugar-free diet or a sugar-free lifestyle because they don't want to introduce any of that into their system any longer. The whole situation was just nuts. It was honestly just nuts. I would love to know her team's faces, because when these celebrities put out stuff on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever, their management, promoters, their assistants, whoever, they're literally watching over this stuff all the time. So if anything should happen, they have some, damage control. Like they know how to catch it in an early enough time, or who not to speak to, who put a gag order on really quick. They make sure that they have these things like in line. So if anything should happen, it's being dealt with. I want to know what her manager's face looked like when they were reading the tweet. Like when they're like, Demi, what are you talking about? And then even in my video, I'm like, is she on that stuff again? You know, and it really aggravates me. And I'm sorry to bring like race into this. It really, really, really aggravates me. I don't know if Demi Lovato is Caucasian all the way. If she got a little some in there, you know what I'm saying? But she's white passing, period. But I find it funny that whenever it comes to a Black celebrity that has had any type of drug abuse or like any drug abuse issues or anything going on, it's always very like, oh, well, they always on them drugs, the drugs, like, but then when it comes to white celebrities, it's kind of like, oh, like they're going through something. Oh, they're trying to figure themselves out. I'm so proud of them for coming out and talking about this. Isn't this like Demi Lovato's like third or fourth time coming out and talking about how she used and abused drugs and everything like that? Like, give me the same energy. Like, I worked in a mental behavioral / substance abuse facility for 2 years. Okay. So I have seen some of the most high functioning people and some of the most low functioning people when it comes to drugs. Okay. I've seen them from beginning to end. And beforehand, I used to feel really, really bad for people who were unfortunately abusing, drugs, because it's one of those things where I always felt like the situation was, it started when they were young. They didn't realize what they were doing. And before they realized what they were doing, it was already too late. And now they're hooked. Or they thought, yeah, I can try this. Why not just try this? Like it became a gateway for them. And then it stuck. And now they're stuck for the rest of their lives taking Suboxone or whatever, like, medication they are to like wean them off of one drug to wean them back onto another drug to hopefully wean them off of drugs, period. Right. But what I seen in my time period and what I dealt with personally, I stopped feeling bad, because at a certain point in time, for some people, very few, of those sums, it starts becoming something that they just want to do, and that's a choice, and that's what they want to get behind, right? But I'm not here to talk about the regular degular folk who have to go through like certain programs and everything. I'm talking about these expensive, high price, elite people idolize, who I don't idolize, but celebrities. But it seems like when Black people are like, having drug issues or drug problems, it's always just like, oh, because they're drug. But Demi Lovato is just kind of, oh no, like Demi. Like I'm more than sure, like right now, if something happened to a Black celebrity and it had to do with something with drugs, it'd be like, that's what he get for doing that stuff. I already know that, blah, 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 blah. And it's just going to be like an attack on that person's character just because of the drugs. If it was somebody on the face of like Demi Lovato, it's kind of like, oh, a woman who's done so much for her community, a person who is looked at by many as a figure for body positivity, a person who has overcome so many trials and tribulations. Okay. Okay. And I'm not saying this for my personal opinion. I'm saying this is a fact. This is just what they do in the media. Like, okay, they perpetuate like one story on one person, and then it's way different for the other side, At the end of the day, Demi, get off that stuff. I don't know. I don't know what is going on in that poor girl's head. Why she found it to be cute to sit there and attack a frozen yogurt shop over having dietary needs that people eat. And what makes me more mad is you're mad at these people for being inclusive. Isn't that what we're always asking? Please include the people who might want to eat this, might want to eat that, like vegan options, this option, that option, because sometimes people are vegan not because of a choice. That's their religion. Like they're to not consume meat. And like I just Demi, if you're behind didn't want to go in there and be body shamed about eating a complete tub full of dairy and sugar, maybe you shouldn't took your behind in the daggone place in the first place. Okay. If you knew you was gonna feel bad about yourself at the end of the day, you shouldn't have just ate it. You should have just kept it pushing. You could have went and got some activity in the daggone Stop and Shop. I don't know. And I feel for people who have eating disorders, okay? From like, people who do the plus of the eating disorder and the minus of the eating disorder. I'm not going to get into that. I do feel for people in that, people who suffer from body dysphoria. But you cannot use your platform to get your way and cry and whine about something. And then when people are like, Demi, are you dumb? Then you're like, well, I'm sorry. I felt it in my heart. No, dummy. You try to get a place canceled that has been in business for years and try to make it seem like they were problematic. You're problematic and you're toxic. And a lot of people do not like you. And I'm going to find out why people don't like you because I never paid attention to you before. But now I'm on you, sweetie. Now I'm on you. Now I'm going to try to figure it out because people don't like you for whatever reason. I don't know why, but now I have to figure it out. But anyways, I wanted to come and say my piece about the whole thing. And I know you're probably like, dang, this girl really talked for 20 minutes about Demi Lovato and Froyo. Yes, because I hate the fact that people like her think that they can get away with just doing stupid stuff. And I think that's the problem with us today. We are so scared. We are so PC to call people out for stupid stuff. If you do something stupid, you need to be called out on it. If something idiotic is done, you need to be called out on it. You feel what I'm saying? If you say the wrong word, if you use the wrong definition, people call you out on it and they make sure that you know this is not the way you use this word. This is not how you do. So if you can get called out on that, you can get called out on destroying or trying to destroy a store or frozen yogurt for them being inclusive of having sugar-free options. Like, come on. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. And where was your team when you was putting out this tweet too? Were they agreeing and saying, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am? Probably so, because they need a check. And who knows? You're probably one of the people, if they disagree with you, they don't get a check. She's probably one of the people who pay her people once a month. Anyways. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this afterwards, please let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you want me to do my podcast live from now on, because then I'll just do that and put my audio and worry about that afterwards. And y'all could just come here. Because honestly, I like the visual. I like this. I feel like I'm talking to you guys. You guys are actually seeing my face and everything. And it also makes it a lot better and a lot more entertaining in my mind. So just let me know. Yeah. So make sure you guys follow me on The Vault with Chase on Instagram. If you want to be a part of The Vault with Chase, make sure you email me at thevaultpodcast19@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Candy Taste Sweet. Follow me on TikTok at Chase Inc. CHAYESINC. Make sure that you follow the Tap In. You are listening to Spark FM, so that's where the Tap In is on. Tap In on spark.com every Sunday to 1 to 3 p.m. with me and DJ Slick Vic, and also every Sunday live on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and go like our Facebook page, the Kinkazoid Podcast with Royal, Trey Popper, and myself, where we give you some education on your stimulation. Okay? Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and a great weekend. Until then, see you later.